Hello. Welcome to another episode of Your Business Story. I'm your host, Kristin Spencer, and today we are going to talk about me being a loser. And I know already that language can feel problematic. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to have a discussion about it. And I also want to go ahead and just make sure that I am on LinkedIn as far as comments wise. We'll see if this is going to break the internet, right? We don't know, because sometimes LinkedIn really freaks out about this. It is not expired. No.
Love you.
Love you. Real life friends. All right. So I have that open so I can throw some comments in because I have links today. Are you ready for links? Are you ready for all this wonderfulness? So I wanted to talk about being a loser, not because I am like self-deprecating or anything like that, but because I want to address something that I had a whole conversation with my husband about the other day, and then I talked to Trevor Van Worden on his show about it, and then we talked with David Ketchen about it, and I was like, you know what, this is just something that I have to go live about because it is something that I'm not the only one who's going through this. Let me just say that. So, okay, let's go backward in time to Wednesday night. I was talking to my husband and he was like, oh, but you know, when someone sees your LinkedIn profile now, they're going to like freak out with joy because it's so amazing. And I was like, oh no, you don't understand. Like, I am considered to be like a loser on LinkedIn. And he's like, what are you talking about? Your profile looks great. Like, I've seen it. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter though how it looks. It only matters how many followers I have. And he's like, what? Will people really not hire you because you don't have so many followers? How many followers do you need to have? I was like, well, ideally, like I should have 10,000 followers. And he's like, well, how many do you have? And I'm like, around 800. And he just was like quiet. He looked at me and he didn't know what to say. And I was like, but it's okay. And he's like, what do you mean, but it's okay? I was like, well, because for the people who I'm looking for, they don't really care about how many followers I have. And so, you know, they're going to want to work with me just based on the kind of content that I deliver. And my reviews are really great. My recommendations are awesome. And so he's like, okay, I don't understand what's happening, but I'll just trust you about this.
Can you open the jar? I'm so sorry. This is the last
No, I don't. I can't. You have to open it with like a bottle opener. Just eat something else.
I just got it.
He's like trying to open preserves. I'm like, okay. You have to use like a spoon or something to break the seal. All right, you have 30 minutes until your drum lesson starts, so you better hurry. Saturday morning with the kids awake. Oh, and it says my internet is like low. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going. I don't care. I'm recording this locally. I can post this later if I want to, which is great. Good job, StreamYard. So also, Trevor's like, I love kids. I know. It's like, why? I don't know what's happening. So anyway, so I was talking to my husband about it. He totally didn't understand why I was okay, like being labeled a loser, right? Problematic language. But so then I had a whole conversation with Trevor about this the next day because we were talking about me coming on his show and promoting his audience. And he's like, do you just want to talk about how like you don't have really any followers? And because I know that's something that a lot of people are concerned about, and they'll look at you and be like, oh, I don't want to work with her because she's not a LinkedIn celeb or whatever. He didn't say that. I'm sorry. Trevor would probably never use the word celeb, but in my head, that's what I was like qualifying it as. So I was like, yes, just talk to me about it on air. I don't care. I'll have a conversation. And so we did. And I have a link to the episode because it was a delightful time. I was actually really nervous, which I couldn't understand why. But Michelle, yes. My friend Michelle's like, do not disturb doesn't exist for parents. It's so true. So I would consider Trevor to be a LinkedIn celeb, sort of, because he just has like the street cred, right? Is that better, Trevor? Street cred? Does that sound? I feel like that doesn't sound like something you would say either, but I digress. So I went on Trevor's show. We talked about it. I posted a link in the chat for friends. Let me post it for my YouTube friends because my YouTube friends are amazing. And if you're watching the replay of this, you're amazing. And I love you so much. So the next, then yesterday, Trevor posted about how he wasn't getting like the engagement that he was hoping for because he shifted from having like a community-based show where you go on and you meet cool people, which is the Hotness Unleasher, which you should check out. There's like a ton of back episodes, which are a blast, and you'll meet the most amazing people. So he was talking about how like the difference between that show and then his new show, which is the 344 show, where people like me come on and we're like, hey, this is our professional superpower. This is what it's like to work with me. And Trevor asked all these thoughtful questions. And then David Ketchin came on and I'm just going to share the screen. I hope it's okay, David. I love you so much. And what you said really resonated with me when I was thinking about this me being a loser on LinkedIn sort of thing. So David said, there is a very large audience for whom, and his grammar is always impeccable, friends, whom this platform is social rather than business. It's why incredible posts from Kristin N. Spencer and Jilly Warwicker go under the radar versus anything that requires less connection, like a picture of anything not to do with business. And it goes on. You can read it. I'm going to actually, for all of my friends who are like, I want to connect with Trevor and David, boom, there you go, because they are amazing and you absolutely should. So I was looking at this and I was like, David gets it. But what I wanted to talk about right now is the fact that in the new anthology that's coming out where I'm an author, I talk about how I achieved micro influencer status after working my butt off for an entire year, where I had over 100,000 people tuning into my different channels every single month. And then it just like, it tanked. And I was so sad. I was like, why is everyone decentivizing business content right now? And I had to do like a soul searching deep dive where I was like, okay, what is the purpose of these platforms? And the truth is, for Instagram, for TikTok, YouTube is kind of an exception. I could do a whole episode about YouTube and its awesomeness. But for most of these platforms, their business model is built around them being entertainment. So I understand why they're decentivizing information-related posts. Like if you look at my stuff, it's all about how to write for your business better or how to hire a copywriter who won't steal thousands of dollars from you. Because I talk to people who that's happened to them every single day, and it breaks my heart, and I want to help you not do that. So it makes sense, right? And I was like, I'm not going to be bummed. I'm going to go back in time and look at all of like where all my clients came from. And as it turned out, I only got like 5% of clients from social media, and the rest was from either like networking or direct referrals. So I wasn't too bummed that they were decentivizing all my stuff. But I do want to say that I am bummed that LinkedIn is taking this approach to their business model, because they are not an entertainment platform. They are a platform specifically for businesses and business-minded individuals. So I am bummed about that. But is there anything really that I can do about it? Well, I can come on here and call it out, right? I can use my voice to amplify the message that you should not be penalizing creators on your platform that are doing the thing that your platform says it wants to do. So that's a bummer. It makes me sad that if I post a picture of a kitten, it's going to get way more engagement than if I teach you how to grow your business. Because to me, kittens are fine, but growing your business is so much more important. So I'm okay though. I'm fine. Like, I'm good being a loser. I'm good not having a ton of followers. I'm not going to change the way I show up here because of the numbers, right? Like, I'm still doing great. My business is growing. And so I'm not willing to compromise my values of sharing with business owners how they can grow in order to explode my following. And honestly, when I did achieve micro-influencer status, I was totally exhausted and burned out. It was not worth it. Like, the quality of the relationships I got during that time were nowhere near the quality of the relationships that I am building right now with this approach. So I just wanted to come on here and reflect on that live with you and have jam interruptions with you, which was my son coming in. So I'm going to go and edit some podcasts, even though my podcast is like really slow growing right now because there are so many things in life that are a long game. And if you feel like you're irritated about these different platforms decentivizing your business content, I totally hear you. I validate your experience. It is happening. And on the flip side, I want to encourage you to remember that you are spending time investing in making quality relationships. And that is 100% more important than burning yourself out to go viral on some platform that is not really going to show people the real you. Okay. I love you all. Thank you for all the people who dropped in the comments. And I hope you have an amazing Saturday. Oh, and I want to give a shameless plug to my friend Samantha's new show that's coming out today. I should have looked this up. It's like Stories Unleashed. Okay, Samantha Sierra. So she has a new show that she's doing that's a collab with a bunch of creators. And it's called The Fireside Stories Unleashed. It's going to be on in like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to check it out. I hope that you're there. And I'm going to pop that link as well into the chat because they are all awesome. All of those people are amazing. And we want to share the LinkedIn and the YouTube love. Remember, your business story matters.